Welcome to Wellywood Wargaming, where the grim dark never sleeps. Crack open a bottle of wild snake and spark up a low stick as we take a journey Down-Underhive.
In this scenario, gangs hunt for forgotten loot in a partially collapsed multi-level research facility. Fighters may only move between levels via winding access tunnels, and some of the former test subjects have taken up residence. The name of this scenario is Archeotech Facility, and it is one of the many submissions I got for my custom scenario competition. This one is definitely a winner, and I'm very, very excited to play it. Let's have a look at the gangs. First up, we have a gang of 4 Spyre Hunters led by a hunt leader coming in at 290 credits. She has the mirror shield and monomolecular sword, the parry skill for the skill of choice here, and the upgrade on the Huntmaster leader is the field armor becomes a 5+ invulnerable save. Very, very tanky this one, and a Jakara sort of build. We then have a Malkadon, 240 credits worth of Malkadon with the web incisors and the Malkadon slashing claws as well. Both of these are also paired. The Malkadon comes with the evade skill. Then we have the Yelled Winged Spyre here, 220 credits with the paired laser gauntlets and the Yelled Wings here, fast shot being the skill of choice on this one. And lastly, we have another identically armed and armored Malkadon with the same skill evade for 990 credits for the Spyrers. And the Spyre Hunters will be facing off against a Corpse Grinder cult here. The Butcher coming in at 285 credits with paired heavy chain cleavers, of course, Iron Will, an armoured undersuit, plate mail, and of course the Butcher's Mask. His special rule first to the fray allows a D6 on the charge instead of D3. We then have 2 Cutters, which are the champions. The first, 145 credits with the rotary flensing saw, plate mail, and Cutter's Mask. His skill is Rain of Blows, and he has Dervish as his special rule as well, giving 360-degree field of vision for combat. The second Cutter is 170 credits and comes with paired Butcher's chain cleavers, plate mail, Cutter's Mask, and Slaughterborn as his skill of choice there as well. 2 Skinners, which are the Gangers. The first is 120 credits, armed also with paired Butcher's chain cleavers, plate mail, the Skinner's Mask, and Berserk Charge, giving him +1 attack on the charge. The second Skinner is 80 credits and has 2 Boning Swords, plate mail, Skinner's Mask, and of course that extra attack on the charge there as well. We then have 3 Corpse Grinder Initiates. The first with an auto pistol and hand flamer. They come with flak armor and Initiate's Mask with Infiltrate. It's worth noting that in this scenario, Infiltrate doesn't work as is, but we'll get into that in a bit. He's 110 credits. We then have the second Initiate with a stub gun and auto pistol, flak armor and Initiate's Mask, and the last Initiate at 50 credits with a stub gun and boning sword, flak armor and Initiate's Mask. Coming in at exactly 1,000 credits, let's have a look at the scenario in Archeotech Facility. The battlefield is tunnel warfare. We have 3 separate 1x2 tile areas designated as levels 1, 2, and 3. Each level has been connected by a tunnel marker in the center of each level. The levels are considered entirely separate from each other, and fighters on different levels cannot interact in any way or draw a line of sight to each other. We then take turns placing caches until there are 2 on level 1, 2 on level 2, and 2 on level 3 as well. The caches must be placed 6 inches away from the short battlefield edges and 3 inches away from any other cache. Lastly, we take turns placing beast lairs anywhere on level 2 and level 3. The crew size on this one is supposed to be 2 + 4 on a hybrid, but I've chosen to include full crews for both gangs to keep things going a bit longer. Tactics cards are meant to be 2 here, but I have omitted tactics cards just so as to not overcomplicate things too much. For deployment, the defender selects a battlefield edge on level 1 and the attacker takes the opposite edge. Starting with the defender, alternate placing models within 2 inch of the gang's edge. Fighters with the infiltrate skill deploy normally but may make a free move simple action at the start of round 1 before rolling for priority. Note that will be the 3 Corpse Grinder Initiates. Now for the special rules. The Tunnel Labyrinth. The different levels are connected through winding access tunnels and fighters can easily be turned around. When a fighter moves into base contact with a tunnel marker, immediately remove them from the battlefield. They do not count as having gone out of action, and they do not have to test for fleeing if the gang has bottled. At the end of the end phase, starting with the gang that had priority, alternate rolling for each ganger. Choose the order that was removed in this way. On a 1, the fighter is lost in the tunnels, does not get deployed next round, pass an intelligence check or gain the insanity condition when next deployed. We then have on a 2, you come back on the same level. On a 3 to 5, you come back on 1 level below. And on a 6, you come back 2 levels below. When deployed on a new level, randomize a short edge and deploy touching that edge at least 1 inch away from an enemy model. If there is no room to deploy, move models the minimum distance possible to allow deployment. If a fighter goes into the tunnels while seriously injured or broken, roll recovery in the end phase per normal. Now for the caches. A standing fighter within 1 inch of a cache can make a double loot action, remove the cache and roll on the table below with no modifiers. On a 1, a melter trap explodes, centered on the cache. On a 2, it's empty. 3 to 4, D3 times 10 credits, and 5 to 6, D6 times 10 credits. This is a skirmish battle, so we're not bothering with the actual credit value here. The battle ends at the end of the round if all caches are looted or only one gang has fighters remaining on the battlefield. The gang that looted the most caches wins. If gangs open the same number, then they tie. Having a look around the first level here, the corpse grinders down the bottom here, and the spyrers spaced out a little bit more on the other side. As you can see, there is 1 cache on each tile, all pretty much towards the center of each board. Beast lair markers are placed in the middle of level 2 and level 3 here. I didn't actually get my beast lair markers painted in time, so I've chosen to use the pitfall markers instead. And priority in round 1 will go to the Corpse Grinder Cult. Before they begin to activate, the 3 Corpse Grinder Cult initiates make a free simple move action due to their infiltrate skill. The initiate with the hand flamer moves straight into the first tunnel section with a double move. The Spyre Master does a double move up to the door. The second initiate moves round to the first cache in an effort to get it next turn. The first Malkadon moves into place on the second cache here with an effort to get that cache open with his next activation. Corpse Grinder Champion here moving into the tunnels too. And the first Malkadon uses his second activation marker to trigger the cache, rolling a 4, no melter trap this time. Corpse Grinder Skinner now moving up the left hand side of level 1 in towards the Hunt Master behind the door. The Yelled then takes advantage of the fact that he can fly and goes all the way across the board with a double move into the tunnels too. The third Corpse Grinder Initiate then takes a pop shot at the Malkadon with the evade skill, needing a 6 here to hit in cover. 5 is a miss and an ammo check is triggered, and the auto pistol is out of ammo. The second Malkadon uses a double move to climb over the wall in towards the tunnel with his second activation waiting. The second Skinner moves in towards the tunnel too, but can't quite get there with his full double move. The second activation for the Spire Hunt leader is to first open the door and then use her mirror shield, aiming at the Corpse Grinder Skinner in question. She will hit the Corpse Grinder, no willpower check to be made here as this is only a ganger. The ammo check is failed and the mirror shield is also out of ammo. Now an initiative check for the Skinner, which he fails, meaning that he loses his activation next turn. The second Corpse Grinder Cutter moves in behind the Skinner on the right towards the tunnels. The second Malkadon here chooses to first use his web incisors here, targeting the Skinner before moving into the tunnel. The leader of the Corpse Grinder Cult, the Butcher, then moves in behind his champion to next turn gain access to the tunnels. For each of the fighters that moved into the tunnels, we now roll to see where they end up. For the Corpse Grinder Initiate with the Hand Flamer now, he rolls a 2, meaning he stays on the same level that he's on now. For the Corpse Grinder Champion with the Rotary Flensing Saw now, he also rolls a 2, meaning he stays on the level he's on. Now for the Yelled. Yeld rolls a 5, meaning he moves down 1 level. And the red Malkadon now rolls a 6, meaning he moves down a whopping 2 levels onto level 3. A look around the board now, we can see that 4 members of both gangs have moved into the tunnels now, and lots of action already in turn 1 as we look around the board here, and the many levels as things spread out. As you can see, the 2 spyrers left on level 1 are surrounded by corpse grinders, and should they lose the initiative, things will be very difficult for these 2 spyrers. A corpse grinder sandwich ensues. On level 2, the Yeld has been deployed in the far corner of the Prometheum tanks. And on level 3, the red Malkadon has been deployed in the center of the shrine tile. Now for priority, we get a 6 for the spyrers and a 1 for the corpse grinders, meaning the spyrers could get out of trouble here. The Spyre Hunt leader gets the drop and does a willpower check in order to charge the redeployed corpse grinder cutter here. Can she do it? With a willpower of 6, she will pass and make a charge action into this corpse grinder cutter now. 4 attacks hitting on 2s now, and 3 of them will go through, triggering no power. The monomolecular blade has +1 strength, so we're wounding on 3s here, and 2 of them will go through. With -2 on the armor here, we have only 6 up saves to be made here, and the corpse grinder makes 1 of them. Taking 1 wound for his troubles, he then fights back. 2 attacks hitting on 3s here, and 1 of them goes through. However, the Spyre Hunt leader chooses to parry the 3 into a 2. The corpse grinder initiate with the boning sword now tries to get rid of another cache here. Rolling a 4, she will get the 2nd cache of the game. The Malkadon on level 1 will then shoot his paired web incisors down into one of the corpse grinder gangers, hitting this time. Strength 3 against toughness 3, and we're wounding on 4s here. With a 5, this target is now webbed. The Malkadon uses his 2nd action to then shuffle backwards. It's grinding time with the rotary flensing saw. 2 attacks here hitting on 3s, and 2 4s will go through. However, both of these will be parried by the Spyre Hunt leader. They both still hit, however, and now we need wound rolls. 2 6s rolled here, triggering shred, meaning double the AP on this one. We have 2 non-modifiable saves here of 5+, and 1 of them is made. 2 wounds are taken off the Spyre Hunt leader, who only has 1 wound remaining now. She is also knocked back an inch for her troubles. Because the cutter has the Rain of Blows skill, he treats the fight action as simple. He can fight again here and at versatile range this time. This time, however, he'll be hitting on 4s, and both of them miss. Another willpower check is made here in order for the Spyre Hunt leader to charge again with her 2nd activation marker. 3 attacks will hit, 1 of them triggering power here, meaning no save can be made and extra damage. The power will wound here as well as a regular hit, only 1 save to be made here, and it fails. 3 damage now, and 2 skulls and a flesh wound will certainly finish him off. A cool check is then passed by the corpse grinder initiate nearby. Corpse grinder initiate then shuffles into a better position to use his hand flamer, spraying backwards into the Spyre Hunt leader. Dousing her in flame from behind, an ammo check is needed. The ammo on the hand flamer is still good. However, the wound roll is not made here, and the Spyre Hunt leader is not on fire. As the initiate is armed with another pistol, he's going to shoot his auto pistol off here as well. He does hit, but he triggers another ammo check in this instance. 2 will mean he's out of ammo on his auto pistol, and the wound roll is only a 1. The corpse grinder initiate rightly wondering where everything went wrong. Now it is the Malkadon's turn to use his grapnel launcher in a double move over towards the tunnel. He now heads into the tunnel system. The corpse grinder ganger, who was pinned earlier, stands and heads into the tunnel system too. Over to level 3 as we take a look at the 2nd Malkadon now, who moves into position to get the 3rd cache in this game. As he finishes his move within 6 inches of a beast lair, we now need to roll to see if he gets hit by it. With only a 1 rolled here, he will avoid getting hit by the beast. Corpse grinder champion now moves into the tunnels. The Yeld uses his massive 14-inch double move to move into the center of level 2. Also finishing his activation within 6 inches of a beast lair marker, he will now need to roll to see if he avoids being hit. The 3 is rolled here and he is fine. And the Corpse Grinder Butcher also heads into the tunnels. Second activation for the Yeld now as he uses his wings to get to another casket. A reload action here for the Initiate's auto pistol, and a 2 is rolled, still out of ammo, and another reload here is successful. Second activation for the Malkadon on level 3 as he takes another cache. A recovery roll at the end of turn 2 here for the Corpse Grinder Ganger, who was webbed, and he rolls a flesh wound. At the end of round 2 we get to see where all of the tunnelers turn up. The purple Malkadon rolls a 2 and stays on the same level, level 1 in this instance, on the side he started on. Now for the Corpse Grinder with a pair of boning swords, he rolls a 3 and moves down to level 2, on the same side that the Yeld deployed on. Now for the Corpse Grinder Champion with the Butcher's Cleavers, who rolls a 6 going down to level 3, again on the same side as the first Malkadon who went to level 3. And lastly, the Corpse Grinder Butcher now, who rolls a 5, turning up on level 2, in the same position that the Yeld started in. A look around the board now. On level 1, lots of carnage, several making it into the tunnels, and several caches taken in this round 2. On level 2, we have the leader of the Corpse Grinders, a Corpse Grinder Ganger, and the Yeld on opposite sides of level 2. And on level 3, we have the Corpse Grinder Champion and the second Malkadon on the same tile. Now a roll for initiative here, and the Corpse Grinders will get it this time as a tie. Naturally, the first thing they do is take advantage of the Hand Flamer on the Corpse Grinder Initiate here, tagging both the Spyre Hunt Leader and the first Malkadon. Failing to wound the Hunt Leader here, but wounding the Malkadon here. Save is failed from the Malkadon, meaning he takes a wound from the Hand Flamer in this instance. Is the Spyre Hunt Leader on fire here? Yes is the answer, and the Malkadon is not on fire. So the Spyre Hunt Leader, now on fire, has to put out the fire in order to be able to be in this turn, as well as a wound taken from the first Malkadon. Much better this time from the Corpse Grinder Initiate. Over to the Yeld as she gets a 6, clearing out another cache. The Corpse Grinder Champion on level 3 now fancies a charge. He needs to roll a 5 or a 6 here, and a 4 is rolled, just making it short of the Malkadon. Spyre Hunt Leader now activating on fire. Does she take some damage here? She is wounded by the flames, but does make her save with the field armor. Spyre Hunt Leader then attempts to put out the flames, moving 10 inches, but towards the Initiate she will fall short onto the floor next to the Initiate in an effort to put out the flames. Needing a 4+ here, we roll a 6, and she is no longer on fire. She still has 1 activation marker left this round. The Initiate with the Boning Sword now moves into the tunnel system. Spyre Hunt Leader, all she can do is stand and attempt to reload her mirror shield, which she does with a 4. Corpse Grinder Ganger, who was webbed earlier, now stands and moves into position to be able to try and take on these 2 spyrers. The purple Malkadon stands from the flamer attack and moves into position behind a girder. Now fully reloaded, the third Initiate does a double move to climb over the wall onto the other side in towards the center of level 1. The Malkadon on level 3 now takes a point-blank shot at the Corpse Grinder Champion, but a willpower check needs to be made here. He passes with an 8. He will hit with the paired web incisors here, but fails to wound, meaning the Corpse Grinder is pinned. The Corpse Grinder with the pair of boning swords then climbs a ladder onto the rafter to try and get the other cache on level 2. The purple Malkadon then makes a charge into the Hand Flamer toting Initiate to get some revenge here. 6 attacks with the paired talons here, Needing 3s to hit, we get 4 hits through. Strength 3 against toughness 3, and we're wounding on 4s here. 3 of these will go through. 3 injury rolls to be made at -2 AP, and we get a skull and 2 serious injuries, meaning a consolidation back behind the Spyre Hunt leader. It's now Daka time from the Yeld as she levels her laser gauntlets at the corpse grinder who climbed up into full view. However, her first shot goes wide. Last shot was taken on the Yeld, however, so we do get to shoot a second time here. The second shot in the open does hit. With 2 shots with rapid fire, one of these now wounds. But a save is made by the corpse grinder Ganger. The corpse grinder Butcher then takes a double move action into the middle of level 2. The second activation marker is used on the level 3 Malkadon now in another grapnel launcher. Over onto the ruin tile now next to another cache. The second activation token is now used on the Yeld as she levels her gauntlets again at the prone and pinned corpse grinder in the distance. Because the corpse grinder is on the ground, it will now need a 3+ to hit, and she does miss on the first shot. However, again, fast shot is used here to attempt this again. 2 shots wounding on 4s again, and 1 will go through. And a 6-up save is now failed due to the positioning of the corpse grinder. A flesh wound dished out for his troubles. At the end of this round, we get to see where the initiate in the tunnels ends up. She rolls a 3, meaning she moves 1 levels down, and onto the same side as her Butcher leader. The Butcher entering the tunnels on level 2 now. The corpse grinder Butcher now rolling a 2, meaning he stays on the same level, however this time on the other side of the board. A look at level 1 now as we have the Malkadon and Spyre Hunter facing off against a single corpse grinder as they've cleared out all the other enemies. We still have 1 initiate left on level 1 too. Over on level 2 we have the corpse grinder Butcher at the bottom of a lift conveniently placed with the Yeld up top on the bridge here. A pinned and flesh wounded corpse grinder Ganger on the gantry here. And on level 3 we have the pinned corpse grinder champion on the shrine, and the second Malkadon over on the ruined tile next to another cache, ready to bring home the bacon. This time priority goes to the spyrers. A willpower check of a 6-up needed to charge with the Spyre Hunt leader into the remaining Ganger, and of course she makes it in style. 4 attacks here needing 2s to hit, and 3 of them roll 6s, triggering the power trait. A few go through here and 4 damage is rolled with a skull, 2 serious injuries and a flesh wound. The corpse grinder Ganger is finished off. The Spyre Hunt leader then consolidates around by the door. Meanwhile, the corpse grinder Butcher at the bottom of the lift on level 2 now makes a charge action using the lift to get extra movement as he climbs the bridge. Leading a high roll here, and of course he gets a 6, adding 6 inches onto his 5-inch movement. We get a whopping 11 inches plus 4 from the elevator here. Into the back of the hapless Yeld here, we have the corpse grinder Butcher ready to unload with his paired heavy chain guns. Like a cat to a bird now, needing 2s to hit. 6 of these will go through. Wounding on 2s as well, and we have 6 going through for a whopping 12 damage. With -2 AP and Sever, there is absolutely no hope for survival, and the Yeld is obliterated. The Butcher then consolidates back onto the lift platform. The red Malkadon on level 3 then uses his activation to take another cache. Rolling a 2, the cache will be removed. Meanwhile, the initiate who snuck onto level 3 will now take a stub gun shot at the back of that Malkadon, needing a 2 to hit for +2 at close range, and we do hit. Wound roll is a 5+, and it goes through. Save is not made by the Malkadon, and a wound is taken. He also fails his initiative check and falls to the ground, suffering no damage. The Spyre Hunt leader on level 1 makes yet another charge into another initiate here, this time looking for a straight decapitation. 4 attacks here hitting on 2s, and 2 of them will go through. Only 1 will wound. There is no save to be made, and an injury dice is rolled. However, comes up as a flesh wound, meaning retaliation comes from this initiate. As the initiate turned to face, we are hitting on 5s here with the pistol and her boning sword. The pistol hits but triggers an ammo check. It is parried and does miss. The ammo check, however, is passed. The initiate then takes an initiative test to try and get out of combat. Rolling a 4, she will get away 4 inches. And the Spyre Hunt leader fails her initiative check to be able to hit her on the fly. A get out of jail free card is made, followed by a simple move action into the tunnel system. The Malkadon on level 1 uses a double move activation to get into position for a grapnel launcher with his next activation marker. The pinned and flesh-wounded corpse grinder ganger then stands and makes a simple move action towards the last cache. A grapnel launch is then made from the Malkadon on level 1 in towards the tunnels. Lying in state on level 3, the corpse grinder champion stands, while the Malkadon on level 3 stands and spits back with the paired web incisors at the stub gunner, but fails to wound. As his activation was finished near a beast lair marker, we roll to see if he is hit by a stray tentacle. He escapes that fate. 3 out of action for the corpse grinders and only 1 for the spyrers so far. A bottle check needs to be made for the corpse grinders here. However, they do have the Iron Will skill, adding +1 to the bottle check here on the corpse grinder butcher. So a 6 is all that needs to be avoided here, and they make it. The corpse grinder initiate from level 1 now checks to see where he ends up in the tunnel system. Rolling a 1, that means he will not be deployed this turn, and should he be deployed in the next turn, has to pass an intelligence check to avoid being subject to the insane condition. Meanwhile, the second Malkadon rolls a 5 here to end up on level 3 on the same side as his Malkadon buddy. I look around level 1 now, and all we have is the Spyre Hunt leader in the center there. Lost initiate in the tunnel still. Corpse grinder butcher still up on the lift platform. Corpse grinder ganger about to open another cache here. And we have 2 Malkadons against 1 corpse grinder initiate over on the ruined tile on level 3. Lastly, on the shrine tile, we have the corpse grinder cutter. Priority goes to the corpse grinders in this round. Another stub gun here on level 3, hitting on 2s at close range into the Malkadon, and she will hit. Wounding on a 4 here, that will do it. No save is made, and a flesh wound is dished out for his troubles. Meanwhile, the second Malkadon then charges into the back of this initiate. With 6 attacks hitting on 3s, 4 of them will go through. 3 wounds caused with -2 AP, and that means 3 injury rolls here. 2 skulls and a serious injury, and that is it for this initiate. Consolidation in around the corner. Corpse grinder butcher then exits the lift platform onto the center towards the tunnel on level 2. The Spyre Hunt leader has no other choice other than to head into the tunnels after her companions. The corpse grinder champion on the shrine on level 3, frustrated by his inability to get close to the Malkadon, now charges the beast lair. 6 attacks here hitting on 3s, and 4 of these will go through. 3 of them will wound, meaning 6 damage, 2 wounds are taken, and 4 injury rolls are made. And the beast lair marker is taken out of the game. Consolidation towards the tunnel. The red Malkadon, hearing his name cursed, then climbs over the wall into position to perhaps get a charge in on the corpse grinder champion. The last corpse grinder ganger then opens the last cache of the game. No melter traps triggered in this game so far, and all of the caches have now been opened. Second activation from the red Malkadon as a willpower check is made here on a 6+ to charge into the back of the corpse grinder champion. Paired talons here with 6 attacks hitting on 3s, and 5 of these will go through. Wounding on 4+ here, and only 2 of the 5 go through. 2 6-up saves needed at -2 AP, and 1 of them is made, meaning 1 wound is taken on the corpse grinder cutter. Retaliation comes in 3 hits as he turns to face, needing 4+. We get 2 5s and a 6 here. Wounding on 2s, 2 of these will go through, triggering shred. and 4 damage goes through as a skull, 2 serious injuries and a flesh wound, a dead Falcon. And at the end of this round there will be a winner, and it is of course the Spyrers. 4 caches opened to the Corpse Grinders 2, and that was a fantastic scenario. I particularly enjoyed the multi-levels here, and I picked 2 gangs in Spyrers and Corpse Grinders that really do play into the claustrophobic feel that we have here. The elite against the maniacal, crazy, butchering Corpse Grinders here. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I will be back with another one of these custom scenarios. Please do always, just send me these scenarios and I will think about playing them. This one is one that really stands out to me, but there were quite a few in that competition that I do need to highlight at some point. So anyway, in the meantime, please do like, share, subscribe, and check out the Patreon as well. And I'll be back with another one real soon. Peace out.